I'll create a new project, and same thing. This time we're going to create a style.js. So right here, the style. Okay, let's put this code in. So right here, import a style sheet, and then we create a container and create a model container. After this, we create another file called activities. So right here, activity.js. Alright, so after this, we put a activity code in. This is what we have here. Import React, and then right here we import a model activity indicator. Import these two packages, and then styles. Inside we return a model. What it does is we want to lock the screen. We want to lock the screen, so we need a model. So this kind of model, and visible, transparent, means that we can see through when we lock the screen. And inside we create a view. This view has activity indicator. Means we want to show something like the running or loading. So that's what we have here. And this is the property for activity, saying visible false and size large. So that's pretty much what we have in activity. Because we want to show the loading screen, that means we want to freeze the screen using model. And now this is the styles. We talked about style already here. Style, and this is for model container. So we have background color, little RGB, little blue. So put 50 here, right here, and this is transparent. And this is the app.js. In app.js, right, it's a default code. Now we need to delete all this code here, and then we need to put our code in. We put this code in right here. So here we do import use state and text view, and then styles and activity. And right here we create two constant variables, fetching with default value false for set fetching, because we call set fetching right here. So the default value is false. And then we change to true. So let's talk. So this is the fetching, and this is the promise. Here we call promise represent the completion of asynchronous operation with resolve. And actually we're calling it right here. The promise is a callback used to initialize the promise. This callback is passed two arguments, a resolve callback used to resolve the promise with a value or the result of another promise, and a reject callback used to reject the promise with a provided reason or error. So that's the promise. What we do is here we pass a resolve here, and that is the set timeout function. Set timeout. What set timeout does is it creates a timeout with interval. The interval here we say 4,000, which is a 4 second. This is the 4,000 millisecond. That is a 4 second for the resolve. But this parameter passed to the promise. to the promise. And all we do is we set fetching false. So it means when you press on the screen, we have a value set fetching to be false. Means that's how we freeze the screen. That's how we freeze the screen. After means with 4 seconds, within 4 seconds, the set fetching function with value false means we freeze the screen. We freeze the screen because right here, remember, we have a model, and with the view activity indicator. When we tap on the screen, the set timeout function is called, actually it's right here. It's right here. So, and after 4 seconds, the set fetching becomes true. The set fetching has value true. Within 4 seconds, the set fetching value is false. That's how we freeze the screen. And then after 5 seconds, we set back to true. That means the screen is enabled. So that's what the function onPress does. So we call onPress right here. It means when you type on the loading text, onPress is called. And then that's what happened here. The timeout has happened. So let's run it here. So right here, we start it. And then we run it. So we'll get loading here, which is from right here. So when I click on it, on press, you can see we have this running, and then come back here. So click again, timeout for 4 seconds, come back. So that's what's working here, set timeout.